Warner Brothers Discovery shares were down 6% at the close of trading on Wednesday, according to Variety magazine. The drop comes on the heels of the company's exhaustive presentation of its plans to overhaul their HBO Max streaming platform. CEO David Zaslav and his team detailed the plans to relaunch the 3-year-old streaming service as simply Max as of May 23rd. The new combined service will showcase the prime assets of HBO, Turner, and Discovery. Now, not many online are objecting to the consolidation of this content, rather just the name itself. One tweet that got a lot of attention said, Time Warner is renaming its streaming service HBO Max to Max. It's a good move. The HBO brand is associated with some of the worst content ever, like The Sopranos, The Wire, Band of Brothers, Game of Thrones, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Veep, Deadwood, and Silicon Valley. Yeah, good riddance. This is a terrible rebranding. Terrible. Like, so dumb. First of all, just stop renaming things. Just like, why companies love to do rebrands and where they change all the associated. We've changed our colors. It was just the colors. We kept the show name. Like, people get confused trying to keep up with all these different permutations of it. Just leave it the way it is. People like it. HBO is known for great content, as that sarcastic tweet was alluding to. So losing the HBO part of it just makes no sense. Also, that Max is very non-specific. There are other things that have Max in their title in the entertainment.
I saw one tweet that was like, Cinemax looking at HBO Max changing its name to Max. Like, yeah. It's generic. It loses the value of a brand that is very valuable. I did see someone making the case that the reason they're doing it is because there's going to be more of a focus on children's programming, and the HBO part of it speaks to more adult programming. It used to be the case where you could get, like nudity in shows and things like that as compared to with cable. So that would fray them away. But like, honestly, like, who is thinking of HBO in that way anymore?
Yeah.
Like, the parents are our age, and I don't have some weird, 1980s, I can watch Cinemax. Like, I don't have that association with HBO. I think of, all of the wonderful programming that was just described.
Also, they've changed it. I remember it was HBO Go before it was HBO Max. And then there was a confusing period where
both kind of
they were both, and it was like, because I did have an HBO subscription, but like if I wanted to watch on my computer, it was a different thing. It was a mess.
Yes. It's also worth noting that I think the price is going up on this service. I think it is interesting that the
consolidation to $16.
Which is maybe the thing people should be mad about.
Yeah.
Maybe this is all some genius PR move to distract us from the fact that we'll be paying more for all of these amazing shows that now we're complaining about being having new branding. But I don't know. I don't think that the price dip is actually going to affect anything. I mean, I think they're going to rebound. It's great programming. We all just finished tearing our hair out over Succession.
Yes. No spoilers. Stop watching if you're not caught up. What is the amount of time to give people to catch up on things?
That's a very good question. I will say it's been less than a week. The show just aired on Sunday. Yeah. It's currently Thursday. Yeah. I just saw a tweet from a friend of mine, former colleague at Current Affairs magazine, that said that her husband has been traveling and somehow hasn't seen any spoilers, and they're watching it together tonight. So there's still busy people who are just a few days behind. So It
was a big episode.
It was a big episode. But the point is that, like, everyone's talking about it. The brand is not hurting. Maybe this is some amazing, like, psyop where they're getting us not to complain about the price because we're complaining about the title so much. But I think they'll rebound and be fine. And frankly, we'll all suck it up and get used to Max, just like we got used to HBO Max, just like we got used to HBO Go.
Yeah, we get used to everything new. It'll be fine. How do you feel about the news that there's going to be a Harry Potter TV show? Yes. So excited.
As we've discussed, the small but mighty age gap between us gives us a different orientation to Harry Potter as a franchise. I will probably watch because I consume everything. I'm a content vulture.
I appreciate that very much about you.
But it's
never have you let me down on the, are you watching X?
Yeah, I like that about you too. That's part of why I think our audience was so excited about the Super Mario Brothers segment yesterday. They appreciate a genuine fan the way that you are. What do you make of the format, right? Because unlike the movies, where it's a book, a movie, this is supposed to give a season to each book, so there's more granularity that you can get into.
I think this is great. Honestly, I mean, I'm a big fan of the medium of TV, even much more so than the medium of film, even though, I mean, a lot of really great films, not knocking film, but TV allows for long storytelling, drawn-out narratives. I think 10-episode prestige television shows, of which HBO is famous for, is the correct model for so much entertainment, for storytelling. A 10-episode season, that's what Game of Thrones was through the first 6 seasons, and then it started shafting us with these shorter seasons. 10-episode season, that gives you time to have some filler episode, because when it's just plot, it can be exhausting. You can have episodes that have little focuses on side characters or special, the Harry Potter universe has become much denser and much richer. I think they really failed with the Beast movies. The Beast prequel movies are just not very good.
I watched some of them because I kind of like Eddie Redmayne, but I never really understood what was happening.
They're not good. Well, they don't have enough time to introduce you, at least for the Harry Potter movies. A lot of people already had broad familiarity with these characters from reading the books, which have more, a lot more in them than makes it to the movies. So, and it was kind of fun with the Harry Potter movies to see how each director, because they have several directors over the course of the run, each interprets them slightly differently, from a extreme faithfulness of the first 2 films to a very playful, kind of wild in the 3rd film.
Let me ask you,
this will be great.
What do you think of the controversy around the series because of the stigma associated with J.K. Rowling and her views on trans folks?
I don't care. Haters stay mad. I'm very comfortable with her making another bajillion dollars off this. I don't care about her views. I love that she created this wonderful thing that I enjoy. I'm a huge fan. I don't think you have to agree with everything. I mean, I'm not sure I disagree either, but I don't think you have to agree with everything. For an author, an artist creating something you love, you can continue to love that thing.
We would have to trash like half of the movies made in the 90s if we were to say hold the Weinstein to that same kind of standard.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
That's neither here nor there. I also was curious what you think about the fact of having different casting for these characters that have become so associated with like Radcliffe and Emma Watson and the redheaded fella. Like, do you think it's going to be, sorry, what's it, Rudolph Klimp?
I don't remember what.
Rudolph?
It's Rupert Grint.
Rupert Grint.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Who's also starring in not Succession, A Servant, which I enjoy, but that's separate.
Yeah.
But what do you think that's going to be dissonant for folks?
I mean, yes, to some extent, because those are the actors playing those iconic roles, but things get reinterpreted. This might be the first time this has happened like in our lifetime with like a major franchise getting a reboot this quick. Well, I shouldn't say the superhero stuff gets that all the time. How many people in our lifetimes have played Batman and the Joker and Gordon, etc.? It's
that's true.
Like 18 different people.
I will say, but there were what? How many Harry Potter movies? 7, 8?
There were 8. There's 7 books and 8 movies.
So there's no one man that's played Batman 8 times, and then we shift. There's no one James Bond that's been James Bond 8 times, and who we watched
another good example.
Grow from a little kid into an adult role in the same way that they grow in the books. I mean, I can't even visualize Harry Potter without thinking about what's his face, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be a transition, and I'm sure there'll be some race-blind casting decisions that get people into trouble.
Are we going to be talking about Harry Potter goes woke,
100%.
Changes Hermione
It's going to be both too woke
yeah.
and anti-trans at the same time, and it's going to give us a lot of great content to mill here on the content farm.
I'm so excited for it. I want to be a writer on this. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. I got ideas.
Yeah.
And I'll still do Rising. I mean, full-time, both jobs, writing the Harry Potter show and doing excellent commentary with you, Briahna.
All right, directors, producers, there's your pitch.
Take note.
We'll have more Rising for you after this.